Also, random note while I'm journaling how I ended up in an abusive relationship in the first place. Important to note, it does not start off abusive. People always try to act like it just starts off that way. It does not start off that way at all. First, they start off really nice, really charming. They, you've heard it. They sell the stuff you want to hear, but it's not just saying. They act it out too. All the stuff like, I'll get the door for you. I'll help you out with the kids. I'll pick you up and drive you here and drive you there, and they'll do it for like a while. In my case, like months. And then all of a sudden, in my case, he started to get angry about a few things here and there, to the point where it just would be kind of uncomfortable. Like, I don't understand why you're so angry. Like, it wouldn't make sense to me, because to me, it's like, this is little stuff. But what I didn't know is that's them testing the boundaries. Like, how much can they just be mad and yell about and make you uncomfortable where you at, whether it's in your home, their home, outside, inside, like how far can they stretch it with the yelling and stuff. Then it starts to be pushing, like, even your like personal space boundaries, right? They might not touch you, but it's like, oh, now they want to be close. And then it'll be like throwing stuff, like, oh, okay, now I'm gonna throw stuff at the wall, throw stuff around you. Then it became, oh, I'm gonna throw stuff at you. For me, it was specifically stuff being thrown like at my face. So stuff would just be like, and it'd be thrown at my face. But it would, luckily, it didn't like leave a mark. I don't bruise super easily, thank God. But that's how that would be. Then it turned into like I said, after all that, it would turn physical, where it was like I would get squeezed really hard, like on my wrist. To this day, I still have carpal tunnel from that, and I get it every so often, like when the weather changes, because he would squeeze so hard because it wouldn't leave a mark like that. Like, he would go out of his way to injure me in a way that would leave as little of a visible wound as possible, if that makes sense. So, and then if you try, and that's the physical buildup, there's also the mental buildup. So, like, let's say I would try to say something about it, like, and reason with him. First of all, no matter what you try to reason with, he's a sociopath, he's a psycho, he's never going to believe what you're trying to reason him with. It doesn't matter if you said 1 plus 1 is 2, boo boo, he don't want to hear that. I'm gonna just tell you right now, same thing if it's a woman hitting you, their minds are not right. They don't want it to make sense because they just want to be able to hurt you and have no consequences behind it, period. This is all about being able to get away with being a psycho and hurting somebody. Let me make that clear. There will be no logic to it. No one should put their hands on you if you ain't put their hands on them. This is elementary school textbook. It doesn't take logic. No, they're not out of control, because if they was out of control, they'd be whopping everybody at their job. They'd be whopping everybody at their mama house and them. Like, they're not out of control, okay? That's a lie from the pits of hell. They chose to do it. They chose to build up to it. So then I remember defending myself or whatever, and this happened in front of my child. So I'm getting hit. I start fighting back or whatever this particular time. And then he had the audacity to be like, to try to point at my kid and be like, oh, well, you trying to do this um, in front of, like, to make it seem like I'm a bad mom. Like, oh, you did this in front of your kid. What? Mm-hmm. So it wasn't bad for you to try to whop me in front of my kid, but it's wrong for me to defend myself in front of my kid. Now, mind you, this is not like recent or nothing, but since I talked about the shelter thing, I figured, I'd probably bring up the other thing too, to, connect the two. But I'm gonna tell you now, no one needs to be putting their hands on you. If you ain't put your hands on them, they don't need to be putting your hands on. If you did not touch them, they don't need to touch you. And it do be a build up. It be a build up of all kind of psychological stuff, testing boundaries. Don't just don't. Like, if you see disrespect, especially in a way that does not is not warranted, like, it's really like it doesn't make sense, right? Like you can't connect like, oh, this person had a bad day and they're just naturally frustrated. Then they just kind of naturally apologize. Like if your nervous system has you jumping up out of bed, you're scared, you're like almost in fight, flight, freeze, all these little F words. You're just effed up. You're just like, nah, something's wrong. It's exactly that. Something's wrong. You're not stupid. You may want to believe something up here, but your body's not dumb. It knows if you feel safe or not. That person is not safe. You know if the logic makes sense or it don't make sense. You are not put here on earth to try to reason with someone who just woke up this morning to be abusive and play mind games. And then I'm gonna tell you what would be crazier. Instead of sitting there worried about what he was doing, like putting his hands on me, he would try to sit here and act like I was the problem. He would try to flip and be like his only focus was on what I could be doing better. He has absolutely zero interest whatsoever on what he was doing, how he could be doing it better, not serious about trying to go to therapy or get on medicine or none of that. Like none of that. And I was just trying to be gracious and give it time because he did help out and he did have positive attributes. Let me tell you, darling, do not let a few positive attributes lead to your funeral, okay? Because yes, he did those good things, and that is the grace that he wore out. He wore out that grace. He wore out that grace. Because at the end of the day, regardless of what you're frustrated about, for him, uh, it was about a lot of things. But what will really push it over sometimes is like financial stuff. But it's crazy because we discussed financial stuff. It was already discussed, planned out, mapped, all of that. So to be upset about it was just you. You just needed something. You're looking for a reason. You want there to be a reason so bad because you can't have a reason if we as adults sat here, talked about it, agreed on something. Maybe you got buyer's remorse, so then we redo it. Like I'm telling you, like so yeah. For me, it was like it was that's how it started. It started off like, oh, I'm here to help you. I'm gonna do all these things. They talk the talk, they walk the walk, and then they slowly start to push boundaries, push boundaries. You kind of blow it off, blow it off. It doesn't seem like a red flag at first, but then over time, it becomes a bigger and bigger red flag. And by then, I'm gonna tell you too, the more they integrate themselves into your life to where it's like you really kind of depend on them, that's the bigger and bigger the red flags get. The more it's like you lean on them and you need them for your day-to-day living, it's the worse and worse they get because the chances of there being consequences and you calling the cops or you getting them out of your life because they know it will hurt you or the stability of your life, they're not counting on you hurting yourself to get rid of them. So if you're not willing to hurt yourself to get rid of them, they're gonna act a plumb fool, and it'll get worse. It'll get way worse. The minute they think that you got an exit plan or there's something else you can be doing, because I'm telling you, when the police got involved, all of a sudden he had his sense. Isn't it interesting that an officer, your sense comes back? And I'm telling you, and I've seen that behavior in people like over my life, maybe not as dramatic, but for my particular abusive situation, yeah. hmm So all I can tell y'all out there is be careful because one, you it doesn't hurt to be careful in any situation. It doesn't hurt to be careful. But also it's like you're not crazy. Like, and be careful if you start to see someone doing stuff and they're upset and they're taking it out on you and the logic ain't there for why they should be taking it out on you, don't let them creep any further into your life. Go ahead and start building, you know, building up that wall. Go and start blocking them out. Go on and start doing whatever you gotta do. Like I read something, it said instead of yelling at a wall, start building your door so you can get out. Don't even try your best not to waste your time because I promise you it'll just get worse. The more you lean on them, the more you depend on them, the more they see they can get away with. I'm telling you, it's like a drug. It's literally like a weird mental drug. They get a kick out of it, they get a fix out of it. It helps them feel powerful. I've seen it with my own eyes. After a while, they don't even seem human. I remember uh, I've seen some things, and it's like something glosses over their eyes when they're really like enraged, and it's like they're not even here with us no more. It's like that bad of a power trip. So yeah, yeah, yeah. All right.